Well, hello. I came here today to show you how I'm going to make some bobcat lure. Trapping lure is fairly expensive when you go purchase a commercial solution, and you can't always get exactly what you want. But what I found is that you're able to procure various oils and components from a number of different trap suppliers. So in this case, I've got 3 oils from Hoosier Trapper Supply that I'm going to use to formulate a bobcat lure. And specifically, I want a bobcat lure that is cat selective. It's going to cut down on the bycatch from other animals like raccoons or opossums or skunks, that sort of thing. Now, obviously, you can do that with your trap by adjusting pan tension, which is important, but at the same time, I just don't want them in the set. Did some bobcat trapping last year and found that inevitably, when I did a cubby set, I just caught the other critters. I caught coons and skunks and opossums. So I want to be a little bit more selective. So this is my notion of how to go about this. I ordered some components from eBay, Amazon, as well as Hoosier Trapper Outdoors and locally sourced stuff. So the premise behind this lure, I mentioned before, is 3 oils that are specific to cats: catnip, valerian, and lovage. So catnip and valerian both have the same effect on a bobcat or a lynx that it would have on a domesticated cat. And lovage, being in a celery family, has a scent that is actually appealing to a number of different animals, but I think is not going to cause as many interesting sessions from the raccoons and skunks and stuff. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mix a base of vodka. I just bought cheapest vodka I could get. I don't drink vodka, so I think this is probably gross stuff, I assume. But we're going to use that as basically something that is volatile. It's going to volatilize a little bit and help disperse the oils that we have here. And then on the other side of that, we're going to have glycerin, which is going to ensure that this doesn't freeze. And normally, if you were doing a lure that was based on organic components like meat, you would worry about it molding or breaking down, and you can use a preservative. So I bought a little bit of sodium benzoate. I don't actually need this, but I'm going to use just a touch of that in this particular lure. So to begin with, I've got my checklist here. There's a lot of resources online about historical lure making, but almost all the manufacturers these days closely guard their secrets. It's a little bit of like witchcraft and trade secrets and espionage that goes into making lure. But I think it's Trapping Today magazine that's got some historical records. And then if you're a member of any of the national trapper associations, they have a periodical they publish that has some lure making tips and stuff in there as well. So this is basically what I've gleaned off the internet. I'm not a professional lure maker, but I am going to try this out and see how it goes. So I am going to start with my oils first to ensure that I get a good mixture here. And I'm going to intend to do a total of about 12 ounces. And this particular triangular container here is graduated in milliliters and ounces as well, I believe. So what I'm shooting for is 12 ounces. I'm going to hope then to come out around, let's see, 270, 300, 360 mils. I think that's what this is going to be. So I'm going to start with my oils. I'm going to be adding an ounce each of these oils, which seems pretty potent. Let's crack one open and see. This is catnip. And it is very potent. It smells actually quite good. Here we have the valerian oil from Hoosier Trappers. Also not a bad scent, but not as appealing to me as the catnip. And then lovage oil, 1 ounce. Pretty mild in comparison. You notice that the lovage has got a little bit of sedimentation. So I'm going to flush that out with some alcohol. I've got some pipettes I ordered off Amazon. So I'm going to crack into my McCormick vodka, only the best for the Bobcats. And we're just going to pipette some of that vodka into this glass container to ensure we get the good stuff out of here. Swirl it around a little bit. It's a bit like being in university chem lab. Swirl that around, make sure we get all the sediments off the bottom. That's where the good stuff is, right? So now, if I look at my container, I am at a little bit shy of 150 mils. So based on my chart here, I'm looking at 360 mils. So I need to go then about 210 mils more with the rest of my components. So the actual oils, which is the scent component, I'm going to mix in with a paint stirrer to ensure they're incorporated before I do the rest of my stuff here. So I've got 150 mils. I'm going to do 300, what did I say? 270, 360 mils. So I need 210 mils in addition. So I'm going to measure out then, I'm going to do basically half and half. I'm going to do 105 mils of vodka and 105 mils of glycerin. So that's going to be about 4 ounces, a little under 4 ounces. Actually, that's probably closer to 3 ounces. So I'm looking at my graduated cylinder, or my container with my gradations, and then I want to take this up to 150 plus 105 is 255. Okay, that's my vodka. And then glycerin, another 105 mils, which will put me at 360. Should be pretty close. I'm going to stir this to incorporate it, and I can tell that glycerin has got quite a bit of body to it. But I think actually it could be just a touch thicker. I had read 50-50 glycerin and vodka, but based on the desired heft, I think that I'm going to add another 100 mil or so of glycerin just to get me there. So that's going to put me at 465 mils. Okay, that seems a pretty good consistency. I ordered these little amber glass bottles, and then I'm going to put the lure in here, thinking perhaps that the amber glass will keep them from degrading. Not that I'm overly concerned about that. I am going to add just 1/8 of a teaspoon of sodium benzoate as a preservative. Probably not necessary, but we're going to give it a go. I've noticed this does not incorporate particularly well, which I don't like, but I'm not going to boil this, and I'm not going to worry too much about it. So with my little jars here. My funnel is just too big, so I'm actually going to pipette this in. And it's going to take quite a bit of time, but you don't have to be here for all of that. Suffice it to say, I'm going to have enough bobcat lure for a long time. So if you're interested in making your own lure, there's quite a few resources out there. I mentioned Trapping Today. That's a good one to get started. There are several websites. I think the Katz brothers have some books on the material. So I think this is a good way to spend the summer hours when it's 1,000,000 degrees outside. So what I'm going to do is bottle up the rest of this. And if you're local to me and you're interested in buying some of this cat lure, I'm going to have plenty. So I think I'll sell some for like $6 a bottle, $5 for two, if you're or $10 for two if you're interested. And we're going to call it Caterwall. So get excited and thanks for watching.